What's going on, everyone? This is Robin that's coming at you with another video. Today we're going to talk about how much of QQQi will you need in order to live in California. But before we get to the topic, I am not a financial advisor. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes, so please do your own due diligence. California is one of the most expensive states to live in the United States. California's cost of living is 1.34 times higher than the national average. Now, if you guys looked at my other videos, the QQQi one, I made that video a couple weeks ago. It talks about the US averages for the top 50%, which is the middle class, the top 20%, which is the upper middle class, and the top 1%, which is the rich and the wealthy. So we can go over that again. The top 50% is $80,000 a year, and this is just the US average or national average. The top 20% of income earners make around $130,000 a year, and the top 1% of earners, they make over $800,000 a year, but we're just going to say $800,000 a year. So what we're going to do to find the cost of living in California for the middle class, upper middle class, and the rich and the wealthy, we're going to times those figures by 1.34. So let's get to the numbers. If you wanted to live like the middle class in California, you would need to multiply 80,000 times 1.34. That's going to get you $107,000 a year. So the next one, to live like the top 20% or the upper middle class in California, what we're going to need to do, we're going to multiply 130,000 times 1.34, and that's going to give you $174,000. That's right, guys. You're going to need to make $174,000 a year to live the upper middle class lifestyle in California. If you guys want to live like the top 1% or the rich or the wealthy, here's how much you're going to need to make. You're going to take 800,000 times 1.34. That's going to give you $1,072,000 a year. So that's right, guys. You're going to need to make $1,072,000 a year in order to live in California like the top 1% or the rich and wealthy. In order to get our numbers, what we're going to have to do is use the formula. Now, this formula is relatively simple to use. All you're going to do is take the yearly income and divide it by the yield. QQQi has a yield of 14%. So you're going to take your yearly income and you're going to divide it by 14%. But before you do the equation, you need to take the 14% and you need to turn it to a decimal. So what that means is your 14% is going to be 0.14. So it's going to be yearly income divided by 0.14. So let's get to the final numbers. So let's start with the top 50%, which is the middle class. So we mentioned previously that the middle class in California is $107,000. So what we're going to do, we're going to take $107,000 divided by 0.14. That's going to give us $764,000. That's right, guys. You're going to need $764,000 worth of QQQi in order to live the middle class lifestyle in the state of California. The top 20%, which is the upper middle class. As we discussed earlier in the video, if you want to live the middle class lifestyle in California, you're going to need to make $174,000 a year. So let's take $174,000 and we're going to divide it by 0.14. That's going to give us $1.242 million. That's right, guys. You're going to need $1,242,000 worth of QQQi in order to live the upper middle class lifestyle in the state of California. Last but not least, guys, let's talk about the top 1% or the rich and the wealthy. Now, if you want to live like these people in the state of California, you're going to need a salary of $1,072,000 a year. So if we want to figure out how much QQQi we're going to need, we're going to take $1,072,000 and we're going to divide it by 0.14. That's going to give us a whopping $7.65 million to live in California if you only had QQQi. So that's right, guys. You're going to need $7.65 million worth of QQQi in order to live like the top 1%ers in the state of California. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. If you guys found this video helpful, informal, or educational, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know about your thoughts of the video. Let me know if you guys own QQQi. Put it in the comment section. Whatever comments you want to make, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next video, so stay tuned.